Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 20th through the 26th. And during that time, we'll be moving from the waning gibbous energy into the last quarter, which is on the 21st. And that's a really good time for reflection, releasing what no longer serves us, preparing for new beginnings, kind of letting go, taking responsibility for our past action, and moving forward with a clear vision. And then we move into the waning crescent, which is, of course, a time for surrender, rest, and healing as we get ready for the new cycle. So those are the moon energies coming up for this week. Keep those in mind as you're moving through. So this will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week, Aquarius. So of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. Your overall message card, Aquarius, which there are now 2 of them that came out here. So don't let your past hold you back, is the first card that has come up, and bring love into the situation. All right, let's see what the Aquarians have going on for the week. Which deck am I going for there? Had a moment of confusion, which, if things like that happen during a reading, there might be something in that for you, and that maybe there's just something going on that's a little confusing this week for you. So just keep that in mind before I even start the reading. And Aquarius, since my readings are free to you, all I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and it's super, super easy for you to do. It's right down there. I'll give you just a moment to click on that right now. Thank you so, so much. I really appreciate it. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I really do appreciate you, and I see you. So thank you so much. Okay, Aquarius, and my gentle reminder this week, my little fun weekly reminder that I always do, is to get out in nature this week. Take a walk in the woods, maybe find a beautiful park or an area with a lovely view. For some of you, I'm getting some reason, find a waterfall. That would be lovely. But take time to really stop and just connect with the miracle of nature. Maybe study a tree or a plant for longer than you might. Maybe feed some birds. I know it's time for me to put out my hummingbird feeders, and I love to sit out and watch them as they come in. So just my reminder, close your eyes, connect with nature, and enjoy. All right, Aquarius, April 20th through the 26th. Don't let your past hold you back, and bring love into the situation. Let's see what you guys have going on. Wheel of Fortune. So this could be some sort of fortune coming at you, but it's some sort of evolvement. It's some sort of evolution of things. Kind of things. This is like turning a page. So, I always say the wheel in the sky keeps turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. And that's what this card reminds me of, is that one little thing can just turn around and change your life tomorrow. And we never know what that might be. That could be, meeting a person, making a friend, this could, just some change in your life that just changes everything. So you're kind of at one of those points right now. So very interesting there, Aquarius. And your current situation is the Emperor. So this is a card of leadership. This is a card of, clear vision. This is someone who can get things done. This is, kind of structure and rules and regulation, authority figure. So, this changing could be this person, this kind of energy that's come into your life, that's a leader. Maybe it's someone that you are learning something from, or this could be your energy too. It could be that you're taking on some sort of leadership role. And this could be at work. This could be something in your family life, or something in, some other area of your life where you're just kind of taking the reins, and you're going to move into some sort of leadership role, which is awesome. At the root of your situation is the Nine of Cups. So you're sitting in a place where you're feeling very satisfied with yourself, and you're able to kind of indulge yourself a little bit. Love all of this so much. Recent past is that you're coming out of a celebratory period. So, I've had this Four of Wands come up quite a bit this week. But yeah, you've been celebrating. You're moving into something where, again, this could have been your change in your life. So for some of you, maybe you've just recently gotten married, or you've recently, welcome new family members into your family from a marriage that's gone on or some change. But there's been some change here and some turning of a leaf here that's putting you like, yeah, in this leadership role. Or I'm also saying that there's some leader in your life also that is kind of helping you to make changes for you. Doesn't necessarily have to be you. For some reason, I'm being called to say that. Okay. What's on your mind this week is a little bit of a broken heart here with this 3 of Swords. And I'm this is on your mind, but it's almost like a letting go. I'm feeling that 3 of Swords is, it's kind of a little sorrow and pain, but I feel like it's almost letting go of a past. Your card here was, don't let your past hold you back. And sometimes when you turn a new leaf, like this, like I do feel like, with this Wheel of Fortune card, 2 major arcanas, this is a major change coming here for you. And that, this letting go, it's almost like that bittersweet thing where in order to be that new person, there's some things that just have to fall by the wayside. And that can be, it's a little sad, a little heartbreaking, but it's not overwhelming you. It's not like this it's not so sad that you can't move on. It's just like, oh, can't do that thing anymore. It like, think of a new job situation that, if you're in a new job, yeah, you've had to leave some other people behind, and it's sad. It's like, you're letting go of routines and people, but you're moving into something that seems to be more positive and just, more clearer and stronger for you. Okay, just ahead of you this week is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is you putting it all together, getting a really big understanding of the material world. This is kind of an upgrade for you, and figuring out, this is you with your bank account in the right place and your house in order, and everything's good, and you're, because you've put those things together, you're able to step into this role where you're leading and taking charge of something. In your advice position here is the 3 of Pentacles. So, and I'm seeing a few cards here that, again, I've seen these cards in several readings this week. This card here, this Queen of Pentacles, and also this one, that your advice here is to collaborate, to come together with others, to discuss things and how things will go. So, and that is being a good leader is also being a good listener. So I feel like, your advice is to definitely keep your ears open, have confidence, but you're going to be listening to people also and what their opinions might be. What is beyond your control this week is the King of Cups. I mean, can you have more control? You've got the Emperor, Queen of Pentacles, and now King of Cups. This is really knowledge of not only your own emotions, but I always feel like when it's the king, it's everyone around you. It's like, what is everyone contributing to this situation, and how are you're collaborating here? How are any changes or things that are going to come about making others feel? And you're very sensitive to that, and very and knowledgeable to that, and concerned about that. So your other card here was bring love into the situation. So make sure that if you're in this new leadership role, that you just don't plow in and you're going to make changes and, by golly, this is how it should be done. No, you're going to take time to listen to people, and really just lean forward with a very concerned ear about things that and maybe not make changes so quickly, because you are just, your heart is very open in this. I can really feel it. Your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, Page of Swords, which is kind of a new way of communicating. So, and I just kind of had this flash of like an older, not older, but this is, anyway, an older person who is maybe in a new leadership role, who now has to communicate in some new, and I, for some reason, like X came to mind, that you have to post things on X and you've never done that before. This is like a new way of communicating, but it could be, if this is something having to do with like a company, that maybe they have some sort of intercommunication board and that's where you're going to communicate, but it's new to you. This is a new way of communicating, and this is it's in secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid. And I really get that it's there and there's nothing you can do about it. It's almost like you are trying to avoid it because that's not the way you've done things in the past, but this is kind of the way they do things. So you're going to, that's your big thing for the week. It's like your big concern is how to communicate this in kind of a new way. And this way of communicating is juvenile to you. It's new to you. It's not like it's a new way of doing it, but it's just new to you, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. In your outcome position is the Justice card. So you're going to get to a place of truth. And I feel like you are going to be very, very balanced and measured. This whole reading feels very balanced, very, very measured in how you do things. And look at, we've got what, one, two, three, three major arcana here. I just feel like this is a pretty big change for you. This is a pretty big page turn again with this Wheel of Fortune. So I'm going to go back to your overall message cards again. Don't let your past hold you back. So whatever things you're bringing in from your past, you're doing things in your own way now. Just take what you've learned and bring love into the situation. Be open to understanding the emotions of not only yourself but other people around you. What is hidden from you this week is the Nine of Wands here. So feeling kind of like that wounded warrior, and that's hidden from you. You're kind of, you're not letting your past hold you back, and it doesn't look like you're really thinking a whole lot about your past and where you've been. It's almost, you're taking those building blocks of the things that you've learned and you're building something new as you move forward, which I think is really, really great. All right, final words here for Aquarius. Aquarius for April 20th. Final message as they move into this new way of being. Face your shadow. So, and all that really means is, that is kind of your past. And if you're facing your shadow, this is kind of facing the things that you don't like about yourself. Um, take a look at those things and make sure you're being sensitive to those things moving forward. And maybe that is kind of something that you're going to let go by the wayside. As we all improve, we're all doing that. We're all looking at those ways that, I don't like the way I spoke to that person. I really don't. That's not who I am. And so take those measured steps to try to improve that about yourself, right? So something you may need to do this week. And another card for you, the creative no. So make sure that when you're in this collab, I feel like you're in charge. You're in charge here. And even though you might want to do things in a very measured and balanced way, um, yeah, you need to say no to some things. You're going to be able to have, and this is the skill of not only emperor but also the king of cups, is to see the big picture, and where some requests and things that are going to come in that you will have to creatively say no to because you're seeing the bigger picture. So keep your confidence, Aquarius. Be your philosophical self. Look at the big picture on this whole situation, and this is whether this is a work situation or a family situation that you're moving into. You're turning a page and you're in some sort of leadership role. This could be some of you, in some program that you're involved with, that you're going to take more of a leadership role, but you're going to look at the big picture because it's not about just leading the few, it's about leading the whole thing, right? It's a whole, I want to say organization, that it's not just about what makes you happy or that person happy. And that's where this creative no comes in. It's about what's good for the whole. So Aquarius, I really appreciate your time here with me today. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use. So leave me a comment down below if you're comfortable sharing. Let me know, did some of you, are you moving into a new leadership role here? I'm very curious to hear those sorts of things, just to know that I'm touching you. That's what I just want to know, that there's someone out there, and that these messages are getting through to you, and they're doing so in a way that's touching you. That's really all I'm trying to say there. So I do post readings every week, Aquarius. So come back next week and we'll see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you next week. Also, if you like my reading style, of course, please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel, and I would appreciate that so much, and it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Aquarius. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.